Alright. Welcome to SideboardMTG. My name's Eric, and today we're going to be talking about how to play MTG Arena for free. And we've got some free booster packs for you guys, so we're gonna stick with the free theme. And if I get options to get more free booster packs in the future, I will always make sure to let you guys know about those. So I hope you enjoy the show. We're going to be treating this as if we're talking to brand new players to Magic. So for some of you, this will not be very relevant, and for others of you, you might find some tricks and tips here. So hope you like tonight's show. Give it a thumbs up if you do, and if you've got questions, please hit up that chat. Ask people in chat. Ask me. Whatever it is that you need to do, like just get your questions answered tonight. We're gonna get started. Hope you enjoy. Here we go. Alright, so the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to, download Arena, and I'm going to assume that everyone has already downloaded Arena, and you've opened up your game, you've made your account, and then you get to this page. Now, for the record, I've got multiple accounts, so that I've already went through all of this on one account, and now we're doing this on the SideboardMTG account live for you guys. So, we've got a couple people in chat already. Marcus, James, Sean, and Logical Order. Welcome, guys. Anyone else, if you want to hang out and chat, make sure you do that. Oh, man. How about that? There we go. Lamp just wasn't shining the light. Forgot all about, the secret bringer of light, right? Okay, guys. So, when you start up your arena, you're going to get here. And there's going to be this floating blue ball of annoyance, right? Like, it's going to want you to do things before you can actually go do other things. So we're going to go ahead and jump into that, because you kind of have to do that before you can do anything else. So we're going to walk through this tutorial real quick, and then we'll go from there. Now, one of the first things I want to tell you guys about starting your Arena account, and if you want to stay free to play, then there's going to be some things you're going to need to do. Just like when we started up on Magic Online, you've got so many points, so many things that are very, very valuable in the beginning of the game, and it's no different here. So let's go ahead and, well, I guess you guys just want to open some packs, right? You want to open some packs before we get started? Let's do that. So you start with 5 free M19 packs, all right? So you'll notice up here in the corner, we no longer have a vault system. Now it's just, as you open packs, you're going to unlock these rewards. Now, these are wild cards. You'll be able to trade these wild cards in for any card you want. So in Arena, all cards have the same price based on their rarity. So a rare wild card will get you a rare card, any rare card you want. So as we open packs, and you'll notice that they've started us off with 1 free pack here. So if you open these 5, you're guaranteed 1 free wild card. And then, as you open packs, you're going to get free uncommons and commons. Now, these will alternate. You'll get wild card, then you'll get mythic rare and things like that. So as you open more packs, you're going to get more free cards. Plus, you're going to get the cards from your packs. So here we go. We'll bust our first pack. Looks great, right? All the cards getting laid out in front of you and everything. We've got, some commons. It's going to have 5 commons here at the bottom. You're going to have your 2 uncommons flanking each side of your rare or mythic rare. It could be mythic rare. So, we've got a couple decent cards here. I mean, these are enchantment cards, and for those of you that don't know, there's multiple types of cards in Magic. Now, you have your creature cards. And creature cards can have multiple, keywords like flying, or they could have abilities like when it enters the battlefield, it's going to do something. Like this particular one's going to give you an additional land from your deck when you play it, or when it enters the battlefield. So if something happened to stop it from entering the battlefield, you're not going to get that effect. But if it had a cast trigger, you would get that effect. Now, Divination, this is a sorcery spell. It's going to, you're going to draw a couple cards, and you can only play this on your turn during your main phase. Now, hopefully one of these packs will find an instant. I'll explain that as well. Here's another nice little keyword on this particular creature. It's Menace. Now, there's not a lot of information here about Menace, but if you look over to the side, you see a creature with Menace can't be blocked except for by 2 or more creatures. So the keywords are explained here, and they even put the put the little bit of flavor text over there for you. So let's check out and see what this rare is. Desecrated Tomb. Not exactly, you know, the best rare in the world, but, you know, it's a rare. Alright, so we'll open another pack. Did we get an instant? No instant. Exclusion Mage. This is a good card. This actually makes me really happy because what I'm going to explain to you guys here in a little while is you're going to want to have a plan when you start playing MTG Arena so you don't waste your resources. And part of my plan is the Mono Blue Wizards deck. So this is gonna be great for me. So this was a hit. This was something we wanted to see. And then as you can see down here, we have a common wild card. So this is going to get us any common in the world. You want to see these wild cards. That is the #1 thing. That is the best thing you can pull is a wild card. Here for our rare, we got a sorcery, you know, Vivian's Invocation. Now this is going to allow you to look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. A creature is put into the battlefield this way. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls. Now, this may look like a really, really good effect, but I do want you guys to keep in mind this costs 7 mana, and 7 mana is not always the easiest thing to achieve. So, let's open another pack. Okay, so we did get an instant speed spell. Now this is a spell that you can cast on your opponent's turn whenever you have priority. Now priority is something that's going to shift, and I'll explain more about priority and the stack and things like that as we get into some gameplay. But priority is something that's going to shift every time an action happens. So if your player, you know, goes to, they cast a spell, then you're going to gain priority, and then it's going to be your turn. So, you know, it is a turn-based game, so they'll do something, you'll gain a priority, you'll do something, they'll gain a priority, and state-based actions are going to be something that are going to check in between each priority. So, this is an instant speed spell, like I was saying, so you can cast this at any time that you have a priority, and, of course, have the 3 mana to cast it. So, let's look at our rare card here. Demon of Catastrophes. Big old 6/6 for 4 mana, but it's got a drawback. You do have to sacrifice a creature in order to cast the spell. Now, this is a really good one to explain to some of you new guys. Is as an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature. Now, no matter what happens, if you have to cast this spell, you're going to have to fulfill this extra clause here unless something tells you you do not have to. So if something says you do not have to pay the converted mana cost of the spell, you still have to pay additional cost. But a 6/6 flyer with trample for 4 is not bad. Let's turn this music off because Arena has its own music, and we can use it. So let's open our last 2 packs here. We'll get our wild card. Hey, we got another common wild. Johnny's Pridemate, skilled animator, decent little cards. Johnny's Pridemate gets a little bit of play in the mono white decks. Cancel here. This is some counter magic. This basically counter target spell means say no to, like veto that spell. Tell them no. So they're going to play a spell. You'll gain priority, and you just say no. Pluck a Worm. Oh man, what a thing, right? Big, huge, giant green creature that when it enters the battlefield, you gain some life, and when it dies, you draw a card. So not a bad pull there with the Pluck a Worm. All right, so you'll notice at the top when we opened our last one, we got that rare wild card, and it just jumps up into our rare slot. So we got our rare wild card. Next, you know, we're going to have to get another rare wild card, and eventually it'll change to mythic rare. So you'll see up at the top that you have, you know, so many mythic rares, uncommons, and commons. Now, if you wanted to get packs, there are some ways you can do that, and I'm going to jump into this free code for you guys because I know a lot of you guys are interested in this. You can flat out buy your packs, 1,000 gold a pack. You can buy them with gems, things of that nature. We do have some gems. I'm going to be spending some gems. More than likely, I'm going to buy 6 packs of Dominaria and 6 packs of Guilds of Ravnica with our 3,000 gems here. But if you go to the store and just click the store itself, you'll see where you can purchase packs, you can purchase gems, or you can use a redeem code. Alright guys, this is everyone watching, here's your redeem code. Okay, now first off, I do want to go ahead and say, for someone, you know, gets on to me that this is a free code that is floating around on the internet. This was not a code that was just given to me and said, hey, give this to your audience. This is a free code. Already, the first codes are floating around. I am going to try to keep my due diligence up, and I will actually, use some of the members of the audience here that are regular. If you guys find codes that I haven't, put on a video yet, then that means I don't know about it. So help out the community. Let us know. You find a code. Those codes are usable for everyone. You can only use the code once per account, though. So once you use it, it is gone. And the code is going to be capital P for play, and then capital R, Ravnica. So play Ravnica, capital P, capital R. You hit OK. Redeem code successful. Code redeemed successfully. Okay. And so you'll just close that out. You'll go back over to your packs, and you're going to notice that you have 3 more free packs of Guilds of Ravnica. Now that's just play Ravnica, capital P, capital R. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and open those up, see what we get. Hey, we got an uncommon, and we got a guild gate, we got a locket. Now this is an artifact. This is one of the first artifacts we found. Now artifacts do not necessarily abide by the summoning sickness rule. Summoning sickness is only for creatures. When you play an artifact that is not a creature artifact, you can use it that turn. So if we turn 3, we have 3 mana, we go ahead and pay our 3 of any color, which I wish it would let me point to the card. When you pay your 3 of any color, you can then immediately tap that for 1 green or a white, and then use that mana to maybe cast something else. So that's artifacts. Now if it was an artifact creature, you would have to wait before you can use its activated abilities. If they're tap abilities. If they're just pay abilities, then you're fine. Erratic Cyclops. Okay, well, that doesn't seem horrible, honestly. Doesn't seem that bad. All right, so let's open up another one of our Guilds of Ravnica packs here. All right, well, we've got Fire Urchin. That's a thing, I guess. Under City Uprising, I'm more excited about getting some guild gates, getting some land fixing, things like that, because those are all going to be very useful in the beginning until we can get the cards that we need. Chamber Sentry. Okay, so this is what I meant by an artifact creature. Now you can pay X to cast this. Now X in the converted mana cost means that the creature is going to be a 0 converted mana cost creature while it's on the battlefield. But when you cast it, while it is on the stack, right, and we'll talk more about the stack later, while it's on the stack, that converted mana cost is going to be whatever you put into it. So if you cast this for 4, X equals 4, this will be a 4 converted mana cost spell while on the stack. Nowhere else will it be a 4 converted mana cost. And why that is relevant is because you can cast this for 4 mana, and then it could possibly be countered by something like Disdainful Stroke. Now that's a card in the meta that says counter target spell that's converted mana cost is 4 or greater. So do remember that. Even though it's a 0 converted mana cost spell, while it's on the stack, you could have it countered by something like that. So let's go ahead and open our last pack here. Hey, we got a status to statue, and I like how they did this. The split cards, they look great here. Now you do have to pick which side of this you want to cast, so you can only cast one side at a time. So target creature is going to get +1/+1 and gain Death Touch until end of turn, or destroy target artifact, creature, or enchantment. Now these are both instant speed, so whenever you have a priority, you can choose to play this. And again, we got another locket. We got some more nice green-black cards. So it looks like the game's telling us, hey, green-black's going to be pretty decent for you. But right now, I'm not really worried about green-black. That is further down the road in the cards that I want to be playing with. But for now, I'm more worried about a Wizards deck. So we're gonna We're going to talk about a couple other things real quick. We'll get into a little bit of gameplay, complete some quests, we'll answer some questions in chat, and then we'll go from there. So when you first start up, you're gonna see your name up here, SideboardMTG. You'll have your hashtag number, and this is basically your buddy list number, and you're going to be able to give people this once all of that is in effect. As of right now, though, most of that is currently not in effect, so don't worry about the name too much for right now. Just pick your avatar. I do want to be playing with mono blue, so I'm gonna pick Sarkin. Alright, it does not matter who you pick. Okay, so let's make sure you guys can hear the game. It's gonna pause every time I do that. So we want to play. Alright, we click play, our spark, right? You're a planeswalker, and in this world you have a spark. So here we go. Your spark is activated. It's talking to you. It's letting you know that, hey, you need to go select one of the pre-built decks. Now, I've looked at all of these decks, and I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know these decks are really bad. Okay, they're going to need some work. All right, but luckily we're not the only ones playing with a bunch of bad decks right now, and it may take a little bit for us to get some wins with these, but as we start getting wins, we should be alright. Now, a lot of people seem to be playing the mono green deck. The mono black deck looks okay, but I actually want to go over some of these decks with you guys because some of you are going to want to know which one of these should I play. Alright, now you'll notice that I've already got my mono blue wizards deck pulled up, and you can go to somewhere like MTG Goldfish. You can build your deck there, and then you can, as long as it's in your clipboard and in the proper format, and I highly recommend going to MTG Goldfish to do that because they will put it in the proper format. 3 free boosters. I just showed everyone how to do the 3 free boosters. So your redeem code is going to be Play Ravnica, capital P, capital R, no spaces. Will get you 3 free boosters, Oscar. So make sure you guys like. I'll keep trying to let people know, your 3 free boosters code there, but I don't want to just constantly repeat that. So yeah. Well, I'll have to put something up on the screen for you guys. 3 free boosters. Use code whatever. All right, so I've got my mono blue wizards deck, and this is what I was talking about, guys. You're going to want to have something to build towards, okay? So you don't want to just be spinning your wild cards and your uncommon cards and things just all willy-nilly. You're going to want to pick what you are aiming for, right? Like, you're going to want to have a plan. And I highly recommend, if you want to test a plan or something like that before you go spend your resources here, play Magic Online, where you can get access to all the cards and things like that. If you want to rent with manatraders and things like that over there, you can. But when it comes to MTG Arena, it's going to work a lot like your paper collection. And in a paper collection, a lot of times we don't have the resources to just borrow cards from everyone and just access all of the cards like you could in a card pool. Here you have to earn and slowly get each card. So wasting a day worth of grinding on a different deck, that's going to be completely useless. I highly recommend that you have a plan, a deck that you want to be playing with, and you try to aim for that deck. And that's why I went ahead and I put together a mono blue wizards deck. And this is a deck that you guys are going to see. I do not have the cards for it. The cards we don't have show up in red. The cards we do have show up in white here. And if we want to grab a card, we can. Like Exclusion Mage, we know we want that card. We know we want cards like Siren Stormtamer, just an uncommon. So if we want Siren Stormtamer, oh man, don't click it there. Don't click it there. So if you want to look for cards that you don't have, go up here to your filters, right? You'll see at the top you can filter by color, you can filter by multicolored, you can filter by all cards here, and Siren Stormtamer is a card we want to get. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to burn 4 of my wild cards here. We're just going to go ahead and grab Siren Stormtamer, right? So Siren Stormtamer confirmed. Okay, so now we have a... Did I not? Am I not getting Siren Storm Tamers? Is it not giving me Siren Storm Tamer? It's not giving it to me. We got one. What? Invalid deck. Yeah. Oh, MTG Arena. We're doing it right today, boys. Okay, so let's find our Siren Storm Tamer again. It's not letting me buy Siren Storm Tamer. It let me buy one of them. Confirm. Arena. Wonder what happens if we just burn all wild cards on this deck. What does it do? Does it just start at the top and just buy things on the way down? I have yet to use this button. You know what? We're gonna try it. Button doesn't seem to work. Am I not doing something right? I guess not. What if we remove Siren Storm Tamers from the deck? It still will not let me buy Siren Storm Tamers. Well, this is going to go great. This is going to go absolutely terrific. Either way, this is the deck that I plan on going for. We hit plus there. Nope, still not going to work. Alright, so we're just going to hit done. Invalid deck. Yeah, sure. Let's look at some of the decks that they have available for us here. Now, this is a mono black deck. We've got, it's going to be kind of low to the ground. You've got a lot of zombies and things like that. And all in all, black decks are going to be the decks that they're... So, let's back up just a second, okay? Magic the Gathering has 5 colors for you guys. Am I going mono blue bulk route? Pretty much, Jan. That's one of the 3 decks I picked out that I wanted to start with this season. I picked out 3 decks because I wanted a monocolor deck, a dual color deck, and a 3 or more color deck. So I'm going to be trying to go mono blue. Then I'm going to be trying to go Is It, and then from there I'm going to be trying to go Sultai. Now, it would probably be smarter for me to go mono blue, green black, and then Sultai, because then all of my decks would have some shared colors, and that would probably be a little bit smarter. But I just really want to play with Niv Mizzet and cards like that. So that's the route that I'm going to take. Now, you guys can pick whichever route you want to take, but all in all, I just highly recommend that you have a plan. Now, you guys can just grab these 5 decks that they have here for you. You can play these decks. They do not have sideboards. There's 60 cards. You just play them straight up, heads up games, and you just kind of hope that you... This one's got 25 lands in it. It's got some pretty big dudes, though. But I'm probably going to play, each of these decks at least once tonight. So you guys can all see them. But normally the black decks are the decks that you're going to trade your #1 resource, your life total, right? Now, you've got 20 points of life, and you can use that in a number of ways. You can take damage to keep from trading a creature. You can do you can do a number of things there. So if you guys want to learn more about using your resources and stuff, stick around. I'll try to explain to you guys here we're going to do this and that. But basically, in a black deck, you want to trade your life total for additional cards, for additional power on your creatures and things like that. And it's kind of a masochist style deck. Good evening, Barry. How are you doing, sir? So you kind of have a lot of different strategies in Magic, and the black strategy is usually the strategy of self-sacrifice in order to kill your opponent. Now, and it normally works very well. So Be careful how you use your life source or life resources, because there are going to be some burn strategies. And basically think of Magic as like paper, rock, scissors, lizard, Spock. Each one of these strategies is going to do well versus certain other strategies, but not so well versus others again. So kind of like paper, rock, scissors, lizard, Spock. All right, and I say that like that because you know you got 5, not 3. So, but the mono black deck, that's what you're looking at. If you go to the mono green deck, now the mono green deck is, for better or worse, you know, it's going to be ramping. It has great ways to good evening, just funny, Barry. Thank you very much, though, sir. I do appreciate the donation. All right, so Land of War Elves. This is just a card that's going to give you some more mana, and you're going to need mana to cast bigger things. You'll see here that they've got, you know, some 2 mana, you know, versions of Land of War Elves. Now, normally the cheaper you can get away with in your spells, the better off you're going to be. So having these big, huge cards like turn 3 Gigantosaurus, you know, like these are things that you can do. The mono green deck is probably better built than some of the others because of how big the things can get and how little interaction a lot of these decks have to begin with. So, you know, if you do turn 3 Gigantosaurus, man, I really just want to start calling this card Trejo, right? Like, have you guys seen the commercial for this, right? Danny Trejo? It's great. Anyway, so with green decks, you're normally trying to ramp into as much mana as possible and then play the biggest dude possible. And when you're playing huge dudes, they have to have a particular type of spell to be able to answer it. Otherwise, that big guy is just going to get in there. So some of you guys are going to really, really like the strategy of, hey, here's my big dude. If you don't answer it, I just win the game right here. Done. You know, get over it. It's over. I win. And it's going to be that way a lot of times for you guys. So I highly recommend that, you know, you think about what your strategy is for playing, and you know, that's kind of the course here with green, is you just play really big dudes. Look at this. This is a 12 mana 12/12, guys. But believe it or not, green can get this down fairly easy. This is a 5 mana 10/10 that could be played as early as turn 3, guys. That's right. If you turn 1 Land of War Elves, turn 2 Druid of the Cowl, you are looking at a turn 3 Gigantosaurus. Now, I know you might have watched the commercial and you're like, but where's the Grow from the Ashes, right? Well, Grow from the Ashes is a good card, and it's not in the beginner deck. So, do think about that. So, for green, more mana, big dudes, very little removal. All right, so let's go back to the decks again. Now, here's going to be one of my favorite yet most hated archetypes in the game. This is red deck, and red deck typically wants to use spells or really fast creatures to really attack your opponent's life total. Turn 2 Drover the Mighty. There you go. So red deck has a lot of spells like Shock. Now, this is just an instant speed spell that deals 2 damage to any target. You can do that to a planeswalker card, you can do that to a creature card, or you can do that to an opponent. Now remember, if you do that to a creature card, that damage will stay on that creature until the end of turn. At the end of turn, damage is cleaned up, so if you hit a Gigantosaur with a Shock, it's going to have 2 points of damage on it for the end till the end of that turn. So you're not going to be able to go 2 damage here, and then next turn I'm going to do 2 more damage to it, things like that. It does not work that way. Damage is clean at the end of turn. So if you do want to use cards like Shock and other, you know, burn type cards, you're going to have to yeah, here's another one, Spitfire. This is instant speed, deals 4 damage to target creature. So again, you know, you would have to have 2 of these and a Shock to kill a Gigantosaur. So that's one of the things that makes you know, green very good against like the burn archetypes, because it's just really hard for burn to be able to do anything with the green archetypes. Because you basically just put down bodies that are too big for your opponents to deal with. Now, in green, we've seen a 5 mana 10/10. Here in red, the best you're going to get for 5 mana is going to be like a 5/5. It does have trample and haste. Now, haste is a keyword ability that means that that creature gets to attack without the worry of summoning sickness. When you play a creature, normally you have to wait until that creature has passed through your upkeep before it loses summoning sickness. So like if you played, you know, a creature without haste and your opponent took it on their turn before it lost its summoning sickness, it would not have passed through your opponent's upkeep, so it would still have summoning sickness unless they had a card that said gains haste, and that's going to allow them to bypass summoning sickness. So you'll see that from time to time. People will take your creatures and hit you with them and then give them back to you. So that's haste. It just kind of allows you to get around summoning sickness, and again, we'll see that when we get into the gameplay. You also can get some big 5/5 dragons and things like that, but for 5 mana, a 5/5 is usually a well-balanced creature. So, now, actually, this is probably a lot more expensive than you would normally see in your standard red deck. A lot of red decks are going to be a lot lower to the ground. They're going to be playing a lot more, you know, 2-drops and 1-drops and things like that to try to get in early and then finish you up with burn damage. So that's normally how red is played, but there are strategies, you know, called big red, where people try to play the big red creatures, and that looks like this is kind of how this deck is laid out. This is kind of like mono red dragons or something like that. So you do have some really big spells. 6 mana sorcery speed spell that deals 7 damage to target creature. So is there a colorless deck? Well, not to start with, but you could build a colorless deck if you wanted to. You will have to pick and choose your cards, because there's not a lot of removal spells and things like that that are colorless. So normally when you build a colorless deck, you pick a color or two to go as the backbone for that, because most of your spells will be colorless, and they can use you know, black mana or blue mana or green mana to cast a colorless spell. So anytime that mana is, you know, listed as generic mana, it can be used. Mana of any color can be used to cast that generic mana, unless it strictly calls for colorless mana. So something like Meteor Golem, there you go, Marcus. Something like Meteor Golem you could cast with 5 black, a red, and a blue. So you know, those are options. So you could pretty much put, and this is the Meteor Golem that Marcus is talking about. Something like Meteor Golem doesn't really care what type of mana you have. So you could have you a backup mana plan in your colorless deck. So let's say you wanted colorless cards and you wanted some burn spells to kind of protect those colorless cards. You might want to go colorless and red. If you have and most of your lands, you're not going to have, you know, a ton of colorless lands, so you're probably going to have a colored mana base anyway. But if you want to, you know, build colorless decks, you can do that. Alright, so let's go back to decks. We'll talk about the blue deck a little bit. Now, blue is normally your deck of permission, okay? And when I say permission, let's see if we can find a permission spell. I think that it is a little bit funny that I thought there was one counter spell in the permission deck. Not even a negate. Okay, so here we go. Here's a permission spell, right? All right, so you can counter target non-creature spell. Now that's crazy. Their first mono blue deck has 0 permission in it, and that's basically the backbone to a good blue deck, is being able to apply a threat and then using your permission spells to please sir, may I resolve a spell? That's how it works. When you're playing against a blue mage, you're going to cast your Meteor Golem, and then they're going to say, no, you can't play that, or they're going to say, okay, you can play that. And that's kind of how it works with blue decks. Blue decks have cards that say counter target spell, counter target non-creature spell, or sure, you can play that, and now I'm just going to return it to your hand, right? So you play something like a Tempest Djinn or something that doesn't really do anything when it enters the battlefield, except for it costs you your blue mana to be able to play it, and then your opponent just returns that to your hand, and bam, there you go. Like, you've wasted your entire turn, you've wasted your 3 mana, and you don't have anything to show for it. And that's kind of what blue does. It's the mental mage. It's the mage that sits back and goes, I'm not doing anything. You want to do something? Go ahead, do something. And as soon as your opponent does something, you go, do I want to allow them to play this? You look at it, you decide, do I have the spells that will line up against it? What's the best way to, I'll say it, screw our opponent over for making this decision that they've made? And normally it'll be, okay, well, I'll just make them replay it next turn, or I'll make them replay it next turn and I'll counter it then, and we'll stop them 2 turns in a row. So blue is normally about taking additional turns through your cards, and you can get those additional turns in a lot of different ways. If you can blank your opponent's entire turn, then basically you have gotten a free turn. Now it's not quite the same as just taking an extra turn, and you can do that in blue. Blue is one of the few ways that you will ever be able to just take an additional turn, but a lot of times in blue you're looking for those pseudo additional turns. Your opponent draws a card, plays a land, pays all of their mana for a spell, and then you tell them, I'm sorry, but that spell's not going to resolve. Just go ahead and put that in your graveyard. And then you just kind of move on with your day, and your opponent has... yeah, you missed me trying to make 100 Siren Storm Tamers. It wouldn't allow me. It let me have 1. It let me have 1. What if we do it here? Did we get a second one? Still didn't get a second. I still couldn't get another. It just will not let me have Siren Storm Tamers. What a thing. Anyway, that's your blue decks. You want to have that type of strategy in your blue decks. Now, let's jump back over to the white decks. Now, white decks are all about protection and sometimes about speed as well. A lot of times you're going to have, very, very low to the ground, very cheap costed creatures that have really good effects. Yeah, we're doing an arena setup. I'm trying to walk a lot of the new people, to arena through the game. Give them some ideas about where or not they want to invest in more Curious Obsessions. Yeah, I've got to get 4 of those, 100%. Andrew, what? Just opened your 3 free boosters. Got 3 consecutive Varaskas. There goes all your luck for 3 generations. Well, dude. Great for you for pulling Vraska, right? Like that, the card's really good, and that's a Planeswalker card. So I kind of hate that you pulled 3 because I don't know if you'll be playing 3 in a deck, but hey, you can if you want. Anyway, if you guys do want to get those 3 free packs, don't forget to use promo code or redeem code Play Ravnica, no spaces, capital P, capital R. It'll get you 3 free Guilds of Ravnica packs. Just do that in the store, in the redeem section, Play Ravnica, right? You're going to get 3 free packs. I've already done it. So if you try to do it again, failure, redeeming code, Play Ravnica. So we're going to go back to the decks. We're going to talk about that white deck a little bit more. Now, white is about protection and, and life gain, things like that. Being able to, defend in combat. A lot of your removal spells in white will require your opponent actually trying to attack you. So think of white as that really defensive style. Now you are going to be able to be very aggressive, but you're going to be able to defend as well while you're doing that. If I redeem that code, can I redeem any others? Yes, you can redeem each code that is available once per account. So if you do redeem this code, you will be able to, if you find other codes, you're going to be able to redeem those as well. And any code that you find will also be good for everyone else in Arena. That's the way that they are doing their codes. So as codes roll out, if you guys find those, whatever you do, be sure you share them with your community. Share them here. I would love some free product. I'm sure you guys would love some free product. I found this code on Reddit, and so do what you will. I don't know who was the original owner of the code. I just don't know. I found it on Reddit. Tried it on the other account. It worked, so I was like, okay, well, I'm giving this to my audience. Like, why wouldn't I give you guys free stuff if I have access to it? So I'm definitely going to try to continue looking for free cards, free codes, things like that. Anytime I find them, if I can, give credit to the original owner of the code, then I will. If you guys find free codes in your booster packs and things like that, make sure you let us know, because those codes are available for everyone. So I wonder if it's the same code we get it pre-release. That'd be funny, right? That'd be very funny. If you do get pre-release codes and stuff, post them on the SideboardMTG subreddit, and let everyone get a hold of them. I'll check there, and when I see them, I'll put them on our videos and stuff for all of you. But again, back to the white decks, you're going to find a lot of creatures with lifelink and vigilance and flying, and it's just really a real defensive, you know, hard to get around strategy. However, a lot of times, you know, the strategies aren't really big on, you know, just huge big dudes. So you kind of gotta, you know, leverage your defensive abilities, making your creatures indestructible, things like that. You know, if they're indestructible, they can't be killed, but you know, you can reduce their life total to, or their toughness to 0, and at that point they would die. Stuff like that. So you'll see cards like Johnny's Primate. We pulled this in a pack a little while ago. Whenever you gain life, you may put a +1/1 counter on a Johnny's Primate. So this goes good with, you know, a lot of the other strategies and stuff where, you know, you gain life through lifelink. So I'll attack with this. I gain life. I may lose this creature, but it's going to make this creature a little bit bigger because I gain life. Things of that nature. So that's going to be your white decks, and there are some good strategies around life gain and protection and stuff like that. So everyone who attends is supposed to get a code in their kit. If you do get codes, let us know, and if they are non-unique codes, then everyone can use them, and that would be that'd be fun for everybody, right? Leslie's trying to download. Is it Leslie or Lisa? Leslie. All right, is trying to download Arena right now. So, anyway, that's your mono white deck. It seems like they put Meteor Golem in all of these decks. I think that's to let you know that, hey, this is a colorless creature. Doesn't matter what card you're putting it, or deck you're putting it in. So, anyway. Those are our decks. We're going to play with...
Ready?
See? Ready? Ready? Your spark, it just keeps talking to you. So we're going to hit play. We're going to select our deck. And I guess we just go with the first one. We're just going to play the black deck. And it'll just throw us into a game here. So we're gonna pull this up. We're going to see how it goes. And hope you guys enjoy. I will try to explain the cards, the interactions, things like that while we're playing. I'll try to explain some options, whether those options are good, bad, things that you could do, things like that. So I'm going to try to break this down on a very low to the ground level. Alright, so when we're looking at our opening hand, we want some early interaction. We want something that we can do early in the game. Now, we would be able to, you know, until end of turn, target creature you control gets +1/+1, and target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1. This would be really good if we had a small creature that we could play early in the game. However, we do not. The earliest we will be able to play a creature with this hand is going to be turn 5. Now, we do have a couple kill spells that we can start playing at turn 3 and turn 4, but for the most part, I don't like this hand because we don't actually have any early interaction whatsoever. I'm going to mulligan it, which means instead of 7 cards, we're going to take 6 cards. Now, at least I get a small creature here, which, you know, we can buff up with our Skullduggery. We have to be able to play things. One more land than I would really like to have, but because we went down a card, at the beginning of the game, we're going to get to scry, and what scry means is you get to look at the top card of your library. You'll be able to take that one card, and you can either put it on the bottom or the top. Now remember, we've got 4 lands in our hand. Do you really think we need a 5th land right now? I do not think so, so I'm going to just drag that over to the side that says bottom, and then we'll leave that on the bottom. Now, if all goes well, we should not draw that land off the top. However, all did not go well, and we drew a land anyway. So the only thing we can do, play our land for the turn and pass. Now, unless you have an ability that says you may play more than 1 land per turn, oh, this is going to be great. You can only play 1 land per turn. But now that we have 2 land, we have enough mana to cast our Walking Corpse. So I'm going to go ahead and cast my Walking Corpse. It's exactly the same thing that our opponent has done here. So we're going to do that. we're going to cast our Walking Corpse. Now our opponent's got a Sky March Bloodletter, and when it enters the battlefield, target opponent loses a life, and he's going to gain a life. Now, I'm not going to block here, because I would rather block later with my Skullduggery available. So I'm just going to say no blocks. Alright, so we got a Flash 2/3. So the best thing to do here is just kind of hold up. I think that we don't attack. We sit back for blocks. I'm going to say no attackers. Now, you always have the option, you know, unless your card says that you have to attack, you always have the option to hold off and not attack. You can hold those creatures back for, you know, defensive purposes. We're going to allow our opponent to go ahead and go to attacks. He's going to attack anyway here. So we're going to move to the blockers phase. So we'll go to block. I'm going to block here. And we're going to say, yes, just the one blocker. Now, before damage is dealt, we're going to have the option to use a card like Skullduggery. Now, okay, so we're going to do this. And we're going to say that this gets target creature and opponent controls is going to get -1. Okay? And then target creature we control is going to get +1. Okay? So we are going to block the 2/2. Oh, he's got a Skullduggery of his own and blew us out with it. That's very bad. That's very bad. Okay. Because this creature has flash, that means the creature can be played at instant speed. So we can always play this on their turn. However, it's not looking very good for us right now. It's definitely not. Why can't Nightbot spell? What did my Nightbot not spell? Smash? Smash? Smash is a thing here on the stream, dude. Yeah. Hulk Smash. It's a joke, kind of like thrashing Brontodon is brashing Throntodon. LeBron. Good old LeBrontodon. So Nightbot's spelling it exactly the way we want him to. Smash that like button. It's a thing. Alright, so our opponent is burning through his timeouts here. He's created a Thallid. It's not a bad creature. Our opponent's going to go to attacks. Do we trade our 3/2 for a 2/2? I don't think so. Because if we get something like a Skullduggery, we don't want to do that. Now, I am going to play this at the end of his turn so that the creature will pass through my upkeep step without summoning sickness. Now, remember, our opponent's playing the same decks we are, so you know you're going to see a lot of the same cards here. The Thallid says that when it dies, you're going to get a 1/1 green Saproling creature token. So, if we do attack, there's a good chance that our opponent's going to trade here. I am going to go ahead and attack, though. Yeah, the beginner decks are kind of bad. Looks like you're a little late. What'd you miss? Free code to get 3 packs on Arena. A lot of questions and things like that. All right, so I'm gonna trade my little dude with his little dude. So we're gonna go. We're gonna get trades here. We're both gonna get our Saplings. And we just keep drawing land. Our opponent has not been drawing land. We continue to draw land. So we really don't want to kill his Doom Descender because it actually gets bigger. He'll get a 2/2 zombie for it. So can you buy any card you want? And if so, how much are cards? So no, you cannot. If you want to get a specific card, you cannot just go, I'm going to go buy that card. Now you can trade a wild card in for it. I'm going to go no attacks, and we'll try to set up for some deep blocks here. We do need to stop incoming damage as we are down to 8, and we're going to need something pretty big if we plan on coming back from this. Now, the good part about us drawing all of these lands is we will be able to cast our big creatures if we have to draw them. So, game volume seems a little high. Okay. How's that? Game volume a little bit better there? How much are wild cards? You cannot buy a wild card. So you have to buy packs. In all reality, a wild card costs 5 packs. Or sorry, 6 packs. Every 6 packs you open up, that's going to give you a wild card. Now, during those 6 packs, you have the chance to open wild cards, things like that. But you cannot just buy. Like if you had 20 bucks, what could that get you? If you had 20 bucks, you could get a bunch of gems, which would allow you to buy a bunch of packs, and then in those packs, you're going to get some wild cards, plus opening those packs is going to give you some wild cards. So, we're going to block Thalid, we're going to block the Walker, and we'll just take the 3, which we can't do anything about. Gravedigger is not horrible here. Now, this is an enter the battlefield effect. When Gravedigger enters the battlefield, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Now, this costs 4, so that means we're going to have 3 mana left over. So I'm going to be looking for a 3 converted mana cost spell from my graveyard. Now, the one that I'm looking for here is Deathbloom Thalid, because it is a 3/2, and if we do lose it, it will replace itself. So I am going to take this action. Now, if it is a May ability, it'll ask you to take action or decline. I'm going to click take action so that I get the Thalid. We'll play the Thalid, and again, we do have to find a way to answer this flyer, but as of right now, we're going to be alright just making some trades here. I assume that the opponent at this point will probably start swinging at us only with the flyer. So I doubt that he's going to keep swinging with just everything. Okay. The opponent's going to continue swinging with everything. So we're going to block here. We'll make the Gravedigger trade. And then we'll take our 2 damage. So the good part about the Thalid here is without another Skullduggery, the opponent... Okay. So he's just going to kill our Gravedigger. His Doom Dissenter will die. He'll get a new 2/2 zombie. And we get the exact same thing that the opponent just played. Great. Great. It's almost like these decks are rolling out in almost the same fashion. Which is strange considering there's not a ton of consistency. Go get some packs after this so we can build a deck you like. Wow, Rush. You know it'll be like next month before I get that 25 bucks, right? Alright. Well, I do have gems. We'll go spend those gems after this and see if we can get you know, a decent deck. Alright, so the best thing we can do here is just hold up. So I'm just gonna say no attacks. We're gonna try to save ourselves a little bit of damage. We will be going 1 here. So yeah. We'll hit end and go from there. But thank you very much, Rush, for the. I've got some gems. We'll go spend all the gems that I have, and probably get like, I don't know, 12, something like that. We'll get some gold, things like that. We'll be opening some packs. So I'll definitely go burn all the gems I have for you. So the opponent's looking at how he wants to swing, how he can do this final 3 points of damage, and it's probably not going to be that hard for him. We are going to try to kill the Skymarch Bloodletter, which is the flyer that we can't block. Now we only have 1 creature that can block one of these 2/2s. I assume that I'm just going to block the zombie token because it's not going to put something in his graveyard, and then we'll kill the flyer, and then take our. There's a Thalid. Okay, that's going to be a little bit difficult for us to deal with. So we're going to go to blocks. We will block the zombie. So we're going to hit 1 blocker. We're going to cast this spell on the flyer. So the flyer will die because it gets -3, -3. We will take the 2 damage from the unblocked creature. We get Gravedigger, and now we do not have a blocker for the additional points of damage. That is game. Okay, so we'll go ahead and scoop it up. We are dead on board. Yeah, man, it is. You're always great, and hey, you're the new stream boss there, Rush. Way to take Jizza down. So much love to you, Rush. I appreciate it, and 100%. We'll go burn these. We'll burn these gems and see if we can get something. I was personally not one who spent a lot of money on this game, so you'll see some people that just spend tons and tons of money getting gems and things, and they had like $600 or $700 worth of gems, you know, when everything reset. I did not do that. But after you have completed your first, whether you win or lose, you've completed your first quest. And that's kind of how Magic Arena is going to work for you, okay? You're going to have daily quests, you're going to have things that you can do. If you play 5 land cards, you're going to gain 250 gold. If you win, your weekly wins are going to give you packs. If you, if you get a win, this quest is going to give you an additional 250 gold. If you cast 40 creature spells, you're going to get 750 gold. If we complete all of these quests, we won't talk about the weekly quests, but if we complete, the play 5 land cards, if we complete, cast 40 creature spells, and we complete winning a game, we'll have enough to buy 2 additional packs right there. So as you complete your quest, as you complete this journey of a grind, you're going to gain gold, which you can use that to enter tournaments, you can use that to buy packs with, to increase your collection, but you cannot just right out buy a particular card. So unfortunately, Arena does not work like that. We could jump back into the play mode, but for right now, we're going to go see if we can buy some packs here. So we'll go to the store. Since one of the audience here, our beloved Rush has said, please just go buy some cards, right? I'm trying to show you guys how to play for free, but you're going to have some gems. If you want to use those gems, you can. All right, so we bought 6 packs of Ravnica. Do we need? We've already opened 5 packs. I really think we need some Ixalan packs, some Rivals of Ixalan. I tell you what, Rush, you pick what we get, right? Do we want 6 packs of Rivals of Ixalan, or do we want 3 packs, 3 packs, 3 packs? Can we do 3? Yeah, we can do. All right, so we got 6 packs of guilds. Now we can do like 3 of each. Do you want to do like 3 of each? So 3 Ixalan, 3 Rivals of Ixalan, and 3 of Dominaria. How much is a draft? Drafts are, if we hit play, as of right now, events are locked. You can only just play in the ladder. So for right now, we can't do that. So let's go back to the store. Purchase packs. You want to just get 3 of everything, Rush? Like, because we can do that. That's doable. 700 gems or 250 coin. Is that the price of draft? Rush, I'm not getting an answer. I think I'm just going to buy 3 of everything here. 6 Rivals and 3 Dominaria. Okay, so we bought the 6 Rivals. All right. So we'll buy 6 packs of Rivals and then 3 packs of Dominaria. All right. So now we have 250 gems left. Now, if you do want to get gems, gems are purchased at $25 or $20 will get you 3,000 gems, which is roughly what we just spent. So that's about right. Yeah, and then for $50 you can get 9,000 gems. $99 will get you 20,000 gems. So if you have, I think I seen someone had a little bit over 100,000 gems, so that's like $500. So that's definitely a thing. Okay, so here we go. We've got 6 Guilds of Ravnica packs. Now again, up here in the corner, you're going to see these packs fill up our wild cards, and we're getting Disinformation Campaign. Nice little enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, your opponent will discard a card and you'll draw a card. Whenever you surveil, you can put this back in your hand so you can replay it. We're getting wild cards here, which is great. We got Mission Briefing, not Snapcaster Mage. Alright, so that's that pack. Let's open some more. Alright, well, we did get an uncommon wild card, so this is any wild card we want. There's no Storm Tamers in RIX, right? Hey, Runaway Steamkin. Now, this is actually going to be a card that I think is going to get a lot of play, so this was a good pull. Okay, still getting Guild Gates. You'll notice we just got another rare card. And let's see what we got for Guild Mage's Forum. This is a pretty cool little land. It's got an ability on it. You pay. It'll just make you a colorless mana. You do have to tap it to make the colorless mana, so you wouldn't be able to tap it, use that colorless mana to activate the second ability, because once something's tapped, it stays tapped until either you have an ability that says untap it, or you start the beginning of your turn. The beginning of your turn will always start as untap, upkeep, and then draw. So if you have something during your upkeep, any triggers or anything, those are going to happen before you draw for the turn. So make sure you remember that. But Arena will pretty much make sure that all of that happens for you. So you can use one colorless mana, tap, and you can add a mana of any color. Now that doesn't say that you have to spend that mana on a multicolored creature, but if that mana was spent on a multicolored creature, that creature gets an additional +1/1 counter on it when it enters the battlefield. So that's a pretty cool little effect if we have some multicolored decks or something like that. Can you imagine 7/7 Moldrathas and like casting hostage takers that couldn't be burned with a lightning strike? Right? I mean, come on, there's some things. Goblin Electromancer! Alright, now that was a great pull. This is a card that actually reduced the cost of your other spells. So if you had an instant speed spell like Chemister's Insight, this is another great pull. This is a 4 converted mana cost spell, but if you have a Goblin Electromancer on the battlefield, it's only going to cost you 3. So that's great. Man, we just can't get good pulls today, can we? Assassin's Trophy, probably one of the best cards printed in this set. Destroy target permanent an opponent controls. That's any permanent you want. You can destroy their land, you can destroy their creatures, their enchantments, their artifacts, their planeswalkers, whatever you want to destroy. And for that, they're going to get a basic land. So you're basically just going to allow the land to overtake one of their creatures, right? So yeah, that's terrific. And as we open these packs, you'll notice in the top that we're now going for a rare wild card. So yes, we're going to get some mythic rares as we open more packs. So that is terrific. Okay, here we go. So you know, more decent cards here. I mean, the commons are fine. It's good to have the Guild Gates and Divine Visitation. There we go. You heard Assassin's Trophy is $25 in paper. Yeah, but on Arena it is no more expensive than any other card. So this would have been great to pull on Magic Online, but yeah, Assassin's Trophy is going to be every bit of about $25, $30 on paper. So, all right, let's open another. All right, well, we got our uncommon for opening these. Now we get a Firemind's Research. This is a card that a lot of people are talking about. So yeah, I probably should have talked about that Divine Visitation spell a little bit more, as it's a replacement effect, and some people might want to know a little bit about replacement effects. But when there's a replacement effect, if you have something happen that could be replaced by that effect, you will be able to replace that. Some replacement effects are May abilities, some replacement effects are not May abilities. If you control 2 effects that are the same replacement effect, like let's say you have a creature that says when creatures would enter the battlefield or go to the graveyard from the battlefield, exile them instead, and then you cast something like a Magma Spray that says when this creature would die, exile it instead. it's actually up to your opponent because you control both the replacement effects. The inactive player will be the person who chooses which replacement effect happens. So if you are using replacement effects, make sure you're not using multiple replacement effects of the same type, because then the inactive player will actually be able to pick which replacement effect you want to use. And we ran into this a while back in Standard when there was a card called Kalitas or Kalitas. It was a vampire that gave you tokens whenever a creature died. So instead of it going to the graveyard, you would exile it and get a token. There was a board wipe that said, you know, -2/-2 to everything, Flaying Tendrils. -2/-2 to everything, exile them instead. If you cast that while you had a Kalitas out, your opponents actually got to choose which replacement effect would happen, and then they would choose, you know, Flaying Tendrils, so they wouldn't get the zombie, or you wouldn't get the zombies. So do remember that. All right, well, we got a Tomb Robber. That's not the greatest thing in the world. But we are getting ever so closer to our Mythic Wild. Hey guys, we're getting there. We're getting there. Evolving Wild, this is a decent little land, and I think a lot of you people will use it. J-Light Ranger, not a bad card. Not a bad card at all. Okay, so we got a Baffling in. This is a really good removal spell. It's an enchantment-based removal, and that's kind of how most of your removal is going to work in white. So, Arch of Araska, not a bad land. And other than that, we got a Dusk Legion Zealot, not a bad card. Normally, you want cards that will replace themselves. So, as you cast this spell, you start going down cards in your hand, and you want to go up in cards instead of going down. So as you cast a spell, you're going to go down. As your opponent casts a spell, they're going to go down. And if you have cards that say, hey, draw a card when it enters the battlefield, or when you cast this, get a card from your library in some way or another, that's normally a good spell. So Trapjaw Tyrant. When Trapjaw Tyrant is dealt damage, exile target creature an opponent controls until Trapjaw leaves the battlefield. Again, that's basically how your white removal is going to work. It's temporary removal. If they can't remove the creature, it's permanent. So, or if they can't remove your enchantment or something. So this is kind of natural for a white removal spell. But this is a white removal spell on a body, so not bad. Okay, so anything else of note? Azor the Lawbringer looks good, but just never really got a lot of play. May get some play now, though. Alright, we got an uncommon wild card and a common wild card, and we procced our uncommon up here, so we are getting some more wild cards. Stormfleet Sprinter, for those of you wanting to play it might be a card you want to look into. Atali Primal Storm, a card that a lot of people really liked. Unfortunately, it didn't have a keyword on it, so a lot of people didn't play with it. So, but it's a new meta now. That Slimefoot the Stowaway, sweet, and Syncopate. This is one of those replacement effects, like I was talking about before. Counter target spell until unless its controller pays X. If that spell was countered this way, exile it instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard. So normally when you counter a spell, it's going to go into the graveyard. Here we have a replacement effect for that, where you're actually going to exile it instead of putting it into its graveyard. Zahid, Djinn of the Lamp. That's actually a really good flyer. It's a 5/6 flyer. That's a huge body to have in the air, and it even has a way to cheat it onto the battlefield directly on the card. So not a bad card. I'm pretty happy to pull a Zahid there. Okay, we've got in Bolus's Clutches. Now this is what we call control magic. You control enchanted permanent, so you can, if someone casts something, you can put Bolus's Clutches on that, and then you can put that in your hand. Or you can put that onto the battlefield on your side of the battlefield. Now it's not going to re-enter the battlefield or anything, but it will now be under your control, and you can choose what happens with it. So we could get the other Djinn, right? That would be great. Tempest Djinn. Okay, we also got Blink of an Eye. This is an instant speed, has a kicker on it, and that kicker is what I was talking about earlier about replacing cards in your hand. Now, this is going to both time walk your opponent. So this is a classic blue spell. Your opponent, taps out, or they use most of their mana to be able to cast a spell. You end up just paying 2 mana to put that spell back in your owner's hand. If the spell was kicked, you can draw a card. So if you have 4 mana, not only do you put that spell back in your opponent's hand, but you're going to replace the spell that you just spent. So you'll actually get to draw a card and put that back into your hand for spending the card that you stopped your opponent with. So there you go. And we get a Thraxos, Scourge of the Krog. Not bad. Pretty cool creature. I like Thraxos. And then, of course, we're about to get one more rare wild card when we open our last pack. Dampening Sphere may or may not be good in our current format, but this is definitely a modern staple. Doesn't do us a lot of good here. So, Rite of Belzenlok. Why couldn't that have been Eldest Reborn? But Rite of Belzenlok, still a really good card. And we may get some play out of it, especially if we get into like Muldrotha and stuff. So, alright, so now after opening those, we have 2 mythic rare cards, we have 5 rare cards, 12 uncommon, and 10 common. Now, we can get anything we want for that. So, okay, let's see if we can work on our mono blue wizards deck here. Now, I still want to. It's still not letting me buy this. Alright. Alright guys, we're gonna restart Arena. Okay? Just gonna restart Arena, we're just gonna go from there. Man, now it's just so silent, right? So silent. Bad Arena. Bad! In general, I think Arena is bad. I think it takes completely away from what you can do as a Magic player. I think it takes away from both like competitive Magic. Like I don't think you're going to get into competitive Magic with Arena. It does turn it into a type of grind. Which I wouldn't mind if I could play it on my phone. Right? Like if I could play Arena on my phone, I would probably just sit around and play Arena all day when I had like nothing else to do instead of watching YouTube channels or something like that. I'd probably be playing some Arena. But if I'm going to sit down at my PC, if I'm going to stream for you guys and things like that, I'd much rather be doing something either competitive or, taking a look at, your guys' decks and stuff like that. And that's just one of the things that my channel is just may or may not ever really be able to do. Like, I like being able to play, the Reddit decks and the subscribe decks and things like that. And unless you just own every single card in Standard, you're just not going to be able to do that with Arena. And eventually that will happen. If you play enough, you get enough games, you win enough, you're going to be able to do that. So, right, like, so it's built on a platform that it's built, I think it's the Unity platform or Unix, something like that. But from what I understand about that platform will be available, on all, or that build will be available on all platforms. So it has the potential to be on phones. It has the potential to be on pretty much everything. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's see if we can buy. We want blue cards. Redeem 27 wild cards. Ooh. Like, is this how we want to do this? Like, it's not letting me do it here. I don't like how this is. Blue. Where is Siren Storm Tamer? Hey, it's letting us do it now. Okay. Well, that will work. There's certain parts of the deck that I want to get before I get some of the other parts, just because I know that this is kind of how I want to play this deck. So we got our 4 Siren Storm Tamers. Now let's get our Curious Obsessions. We know we want Curious Obsession. So Curious Obsession, it's just an uncommon. So that's not going to be very bad for us. Okay, so now we're down to 6 uncommons, and we've got 10 commons. So Dive Down's a common. So let's go ahead and grab our Dive Down. Mistcloak Herald. Mistcloak is a common, so we can get the Mistcloak Heralds. Where's Mistcloak Herald? Here we go. So we'll go ahead and grab Mistcloak Heralds. I'm just trying to get this as close to complete as possible. There's certain cards that I'm not worried about if we have those or not in the beginning. And those are the cards that don't really make backbone. So I guess if you guys are having problems like exchanging your cards in and things like that, make sure that you just restart the game. So Blink of an Eye. I definitely want Blink of an Eyes, but isn't Blink? Blink's an uncommon. We can get one more Blink here. So Blink's an uncommon. Spell Pierce is a common. Laban's a rare. Merfolk Trickster's probably the next uncommon that I'm going to get, and then we can get another Exclusion Mage, and then for the rares I'm going to be getting Tempest Gent. And we also need cards like Wizard's Retort, things like that, so that we can counter spells. So let's go ahead and get our Tempest Gens. We need 3 mana. Where's the 3 mana spells? Okay. Like, I'm there now, though. No point in stopping. Alright, so there's Exclusion Mage. Tempest Gen. Where are you at, Tempest Gen? It's alphabetical. Where are you at? Tempest Gen. There we go. So let's go ahead. Tempest Gen. So we have spent a rare wild card, guys, and now all of a sudden the game's like, no. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so we've got 3 Tempest Gens in the deck. We have 1 more to buy. So that's going to be 4 Tempest, which is perfect. Now we want... What other rares are there? We need more uncommons. We need more uncommon cards. We've got 6 uncommons that we can get. 100% want Merfolk Tricksters, but I also want my Wizard's Retorts. So, but then again, we also want Exclusion Mages, and we could get the Nabins. I don't think there's another rare in the deck we want to get, so Nabin's probably going to be fine. So we'll go ahead and grab the Nabin. And then I'm just going to get the Merfolk Tricksters. I think Merfolk Trickster is definitely going to be a vital part of the deck. I hate the fact that I'm probably going to be running, you know, Cancel or something like that until we can get the uncommon card, get the additional Wizard's Retorts. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up some Wizard's Retorts. That burns us our uncommons. So now we're left with needing 2 more counter spells. We need a decent wizard to take this place. We can get our spell pierces because those are commons. Okay. Now we need Chart of Course, Wizard's Retort, and Exclusion Mage. And we do not have the means to get those. So we need a wizard. So I'm looking for a common wizard here. That. Let's see what we have collected. Whenever you cast an instant sorcerer spell, it gets +1 until end of turn. It's not really what we're looking for, is it? And moving on up the curve looks even worse. That's it. That's all we've got. So, we'll remove the 2 Wizard's Retorts. We'll remove 2 Exclusion Mages and 2 Chart of Course. That feels bad. All right, so we need 7 cards here. Let's look at the blue cards that we do have available to us. Surveil. Target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. Surveil. Might not be that horrible. Disperse. Disperse is probably not bad. We can put one of those in the deck. We can put our 1 mission briefing in the deck, because that seems horrible, right? Actually, just gonna bounce anything. Sworn Guardian. Do we have any Merfolk? Let's go ahead and put the Cancel in the deck. Cancel's just a decent draw. Divination, that's sorcery speed, but you can draw with Divination, so probably going to take the place of our 2 Chart of Courses that we're missing. So I'm going to go with Divination, and River Darter can't be blocked by dinosaurs. Not really worried about that. Psymaster Thrust would be good if we had some rare or some artifacts or something like that. We do not have artifacts to cast, so Guild Summon enters the battlefield. You may tap any number of untapped gates you control. Draw a card for each gate tap this way. Whenever a gate enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. It's pretty cool. We're just gonna get rid of the sideboard. That actually changes things a little bit. We can run Chemist Insight, and I'll actually get rid of Cancel. We have a negate. We can add an additional negate here in the main board. Chemist Insight's going to be pretty decent, so I'm going to drop one of the divinations. So we'll drop a divination. Now we can use 2 additional cards. I do want some more counter spells here. So we're going to grab Syncopate, and then I think that's about it. I think that's about all we're going to be able to get away with as far as counter spells. River Darter doesn't seem horrible. Radical Idea, that's probably not bad, right? Maybe run that over the other divination. I mean, it's instant speed, draw a card. It's not horrible. And as far as the Disperse goes, I'm actually going to run the Unexplained Disappearance for the Surveil one. And we've got a 60-card deck. I'm only running 22 land deck, as you'll notice that I'm trying to keep the converted mana cost of the deck as low as possible. When you start building these decks, make sure that you think about that. Rush! You know you're in the zone, but chat has been talking to you. Alright, understood. Understood. Let's see what's going on over here in chat. Divination is not worth it in this deck. So if I go back and like talk to chat, you're going to realize that like some of the things I've already answered. No, divination's probably not worth it in this deck. So if you guys don't want to run that, we don't have to. What are we going to replace it with? Disperse, another copy of Negate. We're already running 2 Negates main board. Dive Down. We can add another Dive Down. I actually like that. We'll add a Dive Down. So 2 Dive Downs. Dive Down is just a protection spell, stuff like that. The most expensive card in the deck is a 1-of Chemist's Insight. Everything else is 3 converted mana cost or less. So I think this is okay for now. Remember, we don't have the luxury of running it exactly the way we wanted to run it. So you know, that's kind of what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to make some decisions. Is it possible to acquire Essence Scatter? Maybe. Yeah, it's just a common. We can get an Essence Scatter. So take out maybe 1 Negate, or yeah, 1 Negate for an Essence Scatter. Kind of like that. Yeah. Was interested to watch. Just was letting you know. Gotcha, Rush. Yeah, I'll take out a Negate or Essence Scatter, and we'll go play it like this and see if we hold up against the meta of decks with our new Wizards deck here. Now, again, we don't have all the cards we want, but hopefully we'll get there. At least we have a... What is going on with my mouse? What is going on with my mouse? My mouse just quit. Oh, come on, mouse. What is going on? Do I have fuzz on the laser? What? Uh-oh. I'm gonna have some mouse problems. There we go. I don't know what just happened there. Okay, so we're gonna hit play, and get Drowned Secrets. Drowned Secrets. Drowned Secrets. Whenever you cast a blue spell, target player puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard. That's a rare. So unless I was like rare cards are going to be hard to come by, and so unless I was just really on the mill plan, I don't think that I would go for that. I want to play a mill deck the first week or so on like Magic Online, but I don't actually think building a mill deck here would be the best route. So I don't think I want something like Drowned Secrets, even though we would be able to, you know, trigger it quite often. I don't think that's exactly what we're wanting. All right, so we've got multiple musics going again. We'll kill our music, get back into the game. All right, Sarkin, our opening hand. Man, this just okay. I mean, we've only got 2 land, but I mean, does this look like a keep to you guys? I mean, we've got 2 creatures, we've got a little counter spell action, we've got a Curious Obsession. I think I'm going to keep it. So, turn 1 here, I'm just going to miss Cloak Herald. I know that we could play this Iron Storm Tamer, but I'm going to miss Cloak Herald and then Curious Obsession it on turn 2. So we'll play our land, go ahead and get our Mistcloak out, and then just kind of go from there. I am worried about the opponent having cards like Seal Away and things like that. This is blue-white, so okay. Another Mistcloak Herald. It's not horrible. So let's go ahead, Curious Obsession on this guy. And you know what? I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna risk it. We're gonna swing for 3, unblockable, and Curious Obsession is going to allow us to draw cards for every time that we hit the opponent. So starting next turn, if he doesn't have Seal Away right now, then we should be okay. And we are kind of running into a Seal Away here, though. Alright, so enchanted creature can't attack or block. Well, that is absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible, because now that it can't attack, we're going to lose our Curious Obsessions. Yeah, that's bad. I mean, we did hit for it. We did replace those cards. We can go ahead and play another Mistcloak. And then that's going to be all we can do, and because of Curious Obsession, we're going to lose those. It's quite unfortunate. Yep, quite unfortunate. Let's get that up here. Needs two-headed giant feature? No risk it, no biscuit. Yeah, we were definitely taking a bit of a risk there, but I think it's okay. I think we're okay. So he's going to get a Thopter. We'll go to attacks. No blocks. Our turn, and now we're getting a ton of land. So let's go to combat. We'll attack with our unblockable. And pass. So now we're on counterspell magic, so depending on what our opponent plays, if it looks like it's going to be fairly devastating, then we'll have to remove it with our counterspell. Another Pioneer. Wow, really? Like, I don't want to. I'm going to, though. So and this will leave our dive down available. Perfect. So now we can use our dive down to kill the flyer. So we'll go one blocker. We'll make sure our Siren Storm Tamer lives. And that'll kill his blocker. This may have been a little too early to fight over this. I don't know what he would have for 1 mana. Like, maybe he could just make his dude indestructible if he wanted to do that. Okay, so he's going to make sure his dude lives. It's not going to be enough to kill our guy, but oh man, now we're getting lands. Okay, so we will attack. Not going so well, guys. Yeah, losing the Mistcloak Herald there, that was. So I wonder if the game lags. Is it lagging for you guys? Are you guys seeing it laggy? Are you? It was very smooth. Well, I hate that ours is not being smooth. That's going to be game. We didn't have a way to stop the Leonin War Leader. We're not drawing our bounce spells, things like that. So So the game looks like it's shuddering to you guys? Okay. Well, I may have to change the bite rate then or something like that. You keep getting bumped out of live. Well, getting bumped out of live or loading or something is probably because you're not on Wi-Fi, maybe? I don't have any control over that. As long as...
You have enough gold for a booster.
We have enough gold for a booster? Well...
Let's go get one from the store.
Of course. You want me to go to the store and spend that gold, right? Okay, so we didn't get any Ixalan packs, so I'm going to grab an Ixalan pack.
Open your new booster pack. I can't wait to find out what's inside. Open it.
Direfleet Captain, Siren's Ruse. These are okay. Another common.
New cards.
Argyle's Bloodfast. Nice flip card here.
Finish quests to earn more boosters in gold.
Alright, so what did we get? We're 2 mythic rares and we have a deck full of no mythic rares. We need more Wizard's Retorts. That's what we need. More Wizard's Retorts. Only way we're going to get that is to go play games. We need to deal 10 damage to complete this quest. We need to keep playing. So we're just going to keep trying to complete quests. So one of the things that in this game it's going to be really relevant to you guys is just complete quests. Not necessarily win your games, lose your games, but complete quests. So sometimes you're going to cast spells that you didn't have to cast even though you're losing because you know you need to cast X amount of creature spells or something like that. So you can build decks directly for completing quests. Man, this would be beautiful if we had a creature. I'm going to mulligan this. I'm going to keep it because we're on the draw and we have the scry. We only have 1 land, so I'm definitely going to be keeping this land on top. So we're going to scry to the top, and that'll be our 2nd land. Tempest Gen will be pretty decent. So we're playing against a red-white deck. Johnny's welcome. Okay. Another Curious Obsession. Alright, so we'll go to combat. Now we do have a wizard, so that's going to be good. A Johnny's Pridemate. So he's going to resolve a Johnny's Pridemate. This trigger on the stack, I'm actually going to go ahead and choose to play my Merfolk Trickster now. And what Merfolk Trickster is going to do is going to enter the battlefield. So before he can gain a life, I'm going to make sure that a Johnny's Pridemate doesn't have an ability. Okay, so that's what we're doing here. He's just going to go ahead and shock my Merfolk Trickster, but that does remove the ability of a Johnny's Pridemate. And we're waiting on cards. So we'll go ahead and just go to our opponent's turn. And these bounce spells are going to be really good because, you know, as he puts in resources to gain, you know, to get a bigger and bigger Johnny's Pridemate, we'll be able to, sure, he can resolve that. So he's going to get multiple triggers here. So we'll go resolve, resolve. He'll get another dude. We'll just keep resolving these. So now he's got a big 4 dude. I'm gonna bounce it, save ourselves a little bit of life here. He's already put a little bit of work into making this dude larger, so we'll put it back in his hand. Mistcloak Herald. As much as I want that card. I think we have to have a land. I think we have to have a land, so we're going to put it in the graveyard and hope that we draw a land. Getting a gen down would be very, very good for us. So he's just going to replay the Ajani's Pridemate. Siren Stormtamer. Well, I'll definitely play the Siren Stormtamer as it's a wizard and it will set us up for next turn. We're just not drawing the land. Needed that one drop earlier. No blocks. Another Mistcloak Herald. I'm just going to attack and keep up Wizard's Retort. I don't think Spell Pierce is going to be great. I definitely want to just keep up Wizard's Retort. Looks like the opponent has some type of reactive spell in hand, though. So we'll see what happens there. So you just got here. What is the 3 free boosters? Is that in Arena? Yes, that is in Arena. The promo code is Play Ravnica. Capital P, capital R, and no spaces. Play Ravnica. Wow, the Wizards deck's just getting eaten on here. The opponent didn't play anything. I'm going to play Curious Obsession because I feel that we have to start getting in there. We'll go to combat. And now we can start hoping to draw more land, more things like that. The opponent's burning through his timeouts. Now, I will say this. If you do burn through your timeouts on Arena, then you're not going to... like, it'll just pass your turn for you. I think we have to retort this. As much as I don't want to, we have to retort so that he can't shock our creature. We want to be drawing cards here. 100% going to take the action. Now we're hitting our lands. Why didn't I play the Genie so I could block? Because I have one more turn for that type of action. We'll go ahead and play our land. We'll go to combat. Attack. All out attack. One attacker. Damage. Take that action. We want to draw that card. It's another land. Now we can play the Djinn and we can have cards like Dive Down to back it up. Goblin Instigator is going to make this quite large. So he will get to resolve that. Not a lot we can do about that. The goblins are coming. Okay, so we have to stop the Pridemate here. So we'll go to blocks. Block here. So we'll go one blocker. We're going to cast our Dive Down on the Djinn. So Djinn lives through this. Definitely in a little bit of trouble now. Okay, so I think that we have to draw some more cards to to get some more action going. So we're going to attack here, the one attacker only, draw 2 cards, and we need bounce cards. Merfolk Trickster is going to be nice. Another Tempest Djinn will be nice. I think we put up Mistcloak Herald. And then we can flash in a Merfolk Trickster. Whenever it attacks, tap target creature defending player controls. That's going to be a little bit of a problem. So we'll resolve that. So now we've got a 6/6 that Johnny's Pride made. We're going to tap this down now. So before combat, I'll go ahead and play this and tap it down. Alright, so we're going to go block here, block here, block here, and we'll take 1 point of damage. Now we're at 2, so if he does have a shock, we will be in a little bit of trouble. Okay, so now we can go... Let's go to combat. We know we have to attack with this guy, because we want to draw some additional cards. We're definitely looking for a bounce spell here. Another Curious Obsession. Okay, well, Curious Obsession's not horrible. So let's go Djinn, Nabin, and we'll leave up the Spell Pierce. So we do have some blockers. We can stop a big spell, but we can't stop anything very small. If the opponent just draws like shock or something, we're going to be in trouble there. So I assume he's going to tap down one of the Djinns. Okay, so he is going to tap down a Djinn. So we'll resolve that. So now we go Tempest Djinn here. I think we can go, but we lose Nabin that way, right? So if we go Nabin here and we go Merfolk Trickster here, yeah, we'll resolve combat like this. So now we get to keep our big Tempest Djinn around. And we get another Spell Pierce. Alright, so I'm just going to play land. I'm going to go ahead and play Siren Storm. Like, I'm going to play this on Siren Storm Tamer. We'll go attack with Siren Storm Tamer. Draw 3 cards. Take action. Take action. Take action. 6 mana. Alright, so we can play a Tempest Djinn. We can hold up Radical Action and Spell Pierce. I mean, Radical Action is instant speed, so that's not horrible. We may have turned the corner here at 2. Don't think there's a lot we can do about that. We will have to answer it soon because, like, he can just kill us with this. So let's go ahead and resolve. He's going to gain a life. I don't think it's going to be enough, though, because the plan is just to kill him in the air next turn. So, yeah. You would chump the Pride Mate. Yeah, it's just over in the air next turn. Because we've got 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 points of damage in the air. Right? Yeah, we just kill him in the air. So we ended up turning that around. That looked like it was going to be a little shaky at first, but you know, just good deck construction, boys. Just good deck construction. So we'll go ahead and claim our prize here, and earn a new deck tomorrow. So you're just going to be able to earn full decks, right? But yeah, this kind of all goes along with, you know, make sure you have a plan as you start this. Don't just go, I think I want to play this, or I think I want to play that. I have known for a couple weeks now that I wanted to play either Mono Blue Merfolk or Mono Blue Wizards, and it looks like it ended up becoming Mono Blue Wizards a little bit more than Merfolk, even though there's still some Merfolk in the deck because there's some good Merfolk Wizards. But yeah, drawing 3 cards early game helped out. Absolutely. And, you know, if we hadn't have went and bought cards, we wouldn't have had Curious Obsessions. We wouldn't have had other things. So if we do play Arena a lot, you're definitely going to see me with my Mono Blue deck. I'm probably going to go Izzet for my 2-color deck, and then we're going to go Sultai for our 3-color deck. This way we can, you know, have some Izzet stuff. So, for those of you just tuning in and you're wanting to know about the 3 free packs, go to your enter your redeem code and type in Play Ravnica, capital P, capital R, no spaces. Play Ravnica, get you 3 free packs, 1-time use per account. So if you have multiple accounts. Let's go grab some red for Wizards. We're done with, we don't have cards rush, and you can't just go buy them. Like, we can't just grab them. So what we have to do is we got to get back in the grind. Okay. So we've got to jump back in the grind. We've got to complete these quests. We need to cast 40 creature spells. Another win will gain us 100 gold. We get 5 wins. We can earn a pack. And that's how it's going to work here. You've got to kind of grind out your games. You cannot. This is not Magic the Gathering. You can't just go buy what you want. Right? This ain't Magic. What do you think? You can just go get whatever card you want? Like, there's no counter. You can't go to the counter and ask the dude behind it to run in the back and grab you a play set of this. No way. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, you just can't. Like, and that's why I'm saying, like, make sure you know what you want. And I will not actually spend any cards on another deck until I have finished this deck. Until I have this deck exactly where I want it, I will not be spending cards on, like, wild cards and things on other decks or whatever. Now, I really would just go buy 2 Moldrathas or 2, you know, Niv Mizzets or something like that with my Mythic Rares, because I know that I'm not going to be using that many Mythic Rares. But for now, I'm going to get back into trying to cast 40 creature spells. We could do competitive play. We have unlocked competitive play at this point.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
I hope you stick around.
It's been fun. I hope you stick around.
Goodbye, and good luck, Planeswalker.
There goes our spark. We've done it. We made it through the tutorial, ladies and gentlemen. So now we can actually do some other things. Competitive draft guilds probably do not have enough. 1,500 gems to be able to play a draft. Let's go back home. Play constructed event. For a constructed event, 500 or 95 gems will get us into a constructed event. Constructed events, bring your constructed deck. You'll receive gold and cards based on how many games you win. Each uncommon card reward can get an upgrade to a rare or mythic, 15% total. You've got a 10% chance of it becoming a rare and a 5% chance of it becoming a mythic there. Unless they've changed it to just a 15% chance, it could just become any rare or mythic. But from the way I understood it in the past, it was 10% on a rare and 5% on a mythic. Now, you get to keep playing until you reach 3 losses here. I'm not 100% if these are the sideboarded games. You've got Singleton Weekend. Now, this is actually what Valentine is playing. She's building Singleton decks where you just put one of each card. You can't have more than one copy of any card other than a basic land. So if you guys want to play Singleton, you can do that. If you want to play a sealed Guilds of Ravnica, which is the pre-release basically for 2,000 gems, and again, for 2,000 gems you can get 2,000 gems for a little over $9.99, so you would have to spend $15 to get 2,000 gems. You'd have a little bit left over, or $20 will get you 3,400 gems. So you can do that if you guys want to. So you can play like drafts and things like that. Again, I'm not going to be spending money here on MTG Arena. It's just not something I'm very interested in doing. I don't believe that the cards are going to have any real value. So I'm going to be trying to play this game in the aspect where we do this grind. We try to complete these quests and things like that. So I'm just going to go back to ladder play, and just going to keep playing on the ladder with my mono blue deck. We're going to try to complete a couple quests, see if we can get a couple extra packs, build our card library, and then we can play more decks from there. So that's it. That's what I'm doing. That's supposed to be our Spark. I wanted to punch my Spark in the face. I don't know if it's supposed to be your Spark or not. So it's not the greatest hand in the world, but we do have early action. I guess we can keep it. It's more lands than I would like to see. Cup and noodle. That's pretty good. I'm just going to attack for one and then just try to like hold my island up. Technically, we kind of missed a point of damage and drawing a card there, but I would rather have my Curious Obsession over on the Mistcloak Herald. Would love to take action. Now we get a Merfolk Trickster. Next turn we can play Nabin and have Merfolk Trickster available. This doesn't have lifelink, no other keywords. I'm not really worried about it. I'm going to keep up like some way to protect my Curious Obsession, because I'm pretty sure that we just win this game off the back of the Curious Obsession. So, oh, draft, that sounds good. You get to keep the cards. Yes, it is not phantom drafts. You do get to keep your cards. So that's a thing. So we are going to be kind of racing our opponent here. So let's go ahead and get into combat. We'll go all attacks. So we get to swing for 3. There's nothing he can do to like stop this as far as blocks go. He's tapped out. We know he's not going to be bothering it. We will play the Nabin, which will give us double triggers on our Merfolk Trickster. So we'll go ahead and deal damage. We'll take our action, which draws us another card. So we get to play Nabin and pass the turn. I actually think we may like these jumpstart cards, so especially drawing a ton of cards and things. Jumpstart may be pretty good. So depending on what the opponent does here, we may remove some abilities, we may tap down both of these dudes. So we really just need to wait and see what the opponent's going to try to do. If he just tries to do something like cast a big instant or sorcery spell, more than likely I'm just going to negate it. If he just comes on and moves into combat, I think that I'm going to Merfolk Trickster. So we'll see what happens. And he is into his timeout, so the game will try to push the game along. Like, it'll try to keep everything at a nice, reasonable pace. So that's not bad. Let's see if we can. See if that smooths things up for you guys. Okay, so this Star-Crowned Stag. Not really worried about that. Before attacks, I'm going to go ahead and play my Merfolk Trickster. We'll tap down both of his dudes. Play a land, go to combat, attack. We'll attack in the air and here. Go to damage, draw an additional card. We get another Merfolk Trickster. It seems pretty good, guys. Pretty good. So we're just going to end. Here we can negate. We can cast Merfolk Trickster again. If we Merfolk Trickster, we're 100% going to be tapping down the Star-Crowned Stag and probably the 3/2 or something. So we'll see what happens. And this is classic control magic for those of you that aren't used to arena or magic at all. I know that, like, I'm trying to keep that idea in my head that a lot of people that are watching this aren't used to Magic the Gathering at all. I was watching Twitch today and there were like 8,000 people watching a guy play Magic for the very first time. A lot of Gwent players have been coming over. A lot of Hearthstone players have been coming to Magic and things like that. And these decks, they do play a lot different from other decks. So let's tap down these two. We'll let him go to attacks. So I assume he's got something he's wanting to do. He's not going to attack now. So now he's looking at his mana here. You can see what he points to, things like that. Whether your opponent's looking at your cards and things like that. You can see that by which cards light up. So if I touch a card and I'm looking at it, it'll light up for the opponent. Knight of Autumn enters the battlefield. Choose one. Put 2/+1/1 counters on Knight of Autumn. Destroy target enchantment. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't like that. Or gain 4 life. Unfortunately, there's not a lot we can do about it. So I assume that he's going to just try to destroy our Curious Obsession. So yeah, that hurt. All right, so we're going to Radical Idea here. Got a Radical Idea. There's a Syncopate. That would have helped. Tempest Gen. Tempest Gen's a card. I think we just play the Tempest Gen. We go to combat, attack, all out attack. Yep, I'm just going to go all out attack here. The main reason I'm going all-out attack is because that'll put him at lethal from the Djinn. So now he pretty much has to kill the Djinn, or the Djinn will just kill him in air. So there was no way that he could block that could keep him from going to 6. So that's the reason I just all-out attacked. Just sacrificing some of my guys to make sure that I get in there. Did that smooth the gameplay out for you guys at all? I hope so. We should have better frames now. I probably should have done that a long time ago. YouTube will normally clean that up for those of you watching past live, but that should have cleaned things up a little. So our opponent's trying to decide how he gets through here. He can just swing in for 6. Rabid Bite. Am I worried about this? Sure. Like that doesn't stop us from winning. So this, however, would stop us from winning. So we're just going to negate that. Now I could have fought over the other card, but again, it didn't stop us from winning. So yeah. Like the opposite of... Long time no see. J-Dubs, how you been, sir? It has been a while. Welcome back. You're enjoying watching this? Yeah, it's much better than it was earlier. Awesome. Well, frames are definitely smoother. Well, then I'll definitely have to remember not to have the stream open in the background, right? Okay, well, we're... our beginner account is starting to take shape. We've got a deck that's doing things, so we'll claim our prize here, and then of course you get a new deck tomorrow. We can earn an entire deck. That's going to be pretty cool. At least they're giving us those options. So I'll be curious to see what's in those decks. So Arena is cool. You like it, Conrad? Well, I hope you guys can take some of the things. Remember, go through tonight's video with your shifter or your sifter. Find the parts that are relevant to you, and you don't have to take my word for it. As always, you can go look it up yourself, right? Like reading Rainbow, man. You don't have to take my word for it. It's in a book. Go look it up. Reading Rainbow, and I loved that show as a kid. But yeah, Radical Idea, Syncopate, Spell Pierce. I mean, we can Radical Idea on 2. We're not coming out swinging. But Tempest Djinn might be just what we need to get in there. You're getting your butt kicked on Arena. I think a lot of people are going to get their butt kicked on Arena. Again, that's what I'm saying, guys. Like, you're going to need to make sure you put absolutely every option you have. Do we get this Mistcloak down and go from there? Or do we stop what he plays next turn and then slam our Tempest Djinn and try to take off? I think I'm going to stop and try to draw a card. Like, if he doesn't do anything, I'm going to draw a card. If he does something, I'm going to counter it. So, we'll see. Ooh. So, yeah, we'll draw a card. I like Radical Idea. Radical Idea is already looking like a good thing here. So, again, we can counter. When does he start playing things that are going to be scary? Let's see if we can get the Tempest Djinn now, and then we'll start swinging for 4 next turn. Elvish Rejuvenator, that's kind of what I expected out of this. I mean, he gets a land, he gets a 1/1. He's going to be trying to jump into his big spells, stuff like that. We can discard this Spell Pierce for a Radical Idea. We can Mistcloak Herald, we can dive down. I don't think we need to Mistcloak Herald. We can keep up Merfolk Trickster. keep up mana for syncopates. Yeah, let's just go to combat, attack, all attacks, and just kind of get in with the gin. Like our flyer is going to be pretty good. Jody. Oh yeah, the guy from Reading Rainbow. Is that who you're talking about? Yeah. Take a look. It's in a book. Alright, so he gets a 3/3. 4/3. Or does he have 4 mana now? He's got 4 mana because he spent 3 on this. He went and got 1. I think I stopped the 3/3 here. So counter it unless he can pay 1 additional. I bet he doesn't swing at it. Alright, we're going to try to close this race out. Mission briefing. Mission briefing means that we can flashback syncopate for 1. Let's go ahead and go to combat. Attack. All attack. Damage. 1 of mission briefing. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with allowing him some ramp. I think that we have what we need to be able to allow him to go get other things. So now he's at 4. That means he didn't ramp last time. So we go to end combat. I'm going to discard my Spell Pierce to be able to just draw a different card. Unexplained disappearance. Seems like a good way to time walk our opponent, right? He spends a bunch of mana to play like Gigantosaur, and we're like, we don't care. Let's go ahead and go to combat. We'll attack, all out attack. I don't see any reason to not attack here. And then we'll just pass the turn. So 4 lands, just kind of getting there. You pulled a Niv Mizzet, awesome. Playing and listening. There you go. Well, I hope that I have done some good for you. Sure. Our dude's hexproof, man. Can't kill our dude. He's hexproof. We had so many ways to stop that, right? So, again, like, I really just want to, like, stress the point of please. Niv's going to be so easy to play. Like, my Izzet deck is going to be all about playing Niv Mizzet. Like, I want to play 3 Sarkhans and 4 copies of Niv Mizzet in that deck. I know, it seems stupid, right? But I just want to turn 4 Niv Mizzet so bad. And then just kind of go from there. So, we need to win 2 more games, guys. Win 2 more games, we get a free pack, right? 2 more games, free pack. Again, have a plan. Don't just go like spending your wild cards on some things for this deck and some things for that deck. Do remember that you can have an account, your significant other can have an account, so you can have multiple accounts. So do remember that if you want multiple decks or something like that in the beginning, have one account doing one thing for one deck, one account doing one for another deck if you want to be able to practice with some different decks and stuff. This is not a horrible hand, not the greatest hand in the world. We will want to get our Naben down as early as possible, which may or may not live. It's not the hand we had last turn, but it's not horrible. I'm starting to think I don't like Spell Pierce in this deck. just because of the way the meta is kind of turning out. But Spell Pierce may be okay. Alright, so our opponent Scryed El Diabetico. The sweetness. You're sitting on over 120 rare wild cards, though. You spent too much money on Arena. Well, that is a thing that is highly possible to do. You can 100% spend way too much money on Arena. It is doable. Okay, so I really don't want to put Curious Obsession on this Naben. If our opponent does absolutely nothing and we draw a land, I would be willing to put a Curious Obsession on Naben. However, it's going to be so bad. Like, I just know this is going to turn out bad. We do need to hit that land, though. When this creature dies, return it. Sure. He just wanted to draw a card. We will take the action. We did hit our land. That's pretty good. So, for those of you that don't know, this is a human wizard, which means Wizard's Retort is a thing. I'm going to counter this. I just don't want it blocking my Naben. I want to draw more cards. Blink of an Eye is going to be great. We'll go to combat, attack, all-out attack, get in for 3. We will take the action. We hit another land, so that allows us to keep Blink of an Eye and Merfolk Trickster up. So I'm just going to pass the turn. We're probably going to have to get cheeky with our Merfolk Trickster. This is just a vanilla. I'm okay with that, so I'm just going to let that resolve. And if our opponent wants to just... I'm going to play this with Kicker. So we'll just kind of try to blink our opponent's turn here. Returning this to his hand, drawing another card. Merfolk Trickster. So we're looking like we're in a fairly good spot now. To the point where I even think that we can protect this Naben pretty well. To the point where I think that we can protect this Naben very well. So we're just going to go ahead, jump to damage. We're going to take action, draw more cards. Curious Obsession's a pretty good card, isn't it, guys? So we're just going to keep hitting these land drops. And we need how much mana? So next turn we'll actually be able to squeeze in Tempest Gen. This turn we could squeeze in like Mistcloak Herald, start getting a little bit of an additional damage out. That would put us at 10, meaning that we could be lethal the following turn. I mean, it would be lethal in the air the following turn with what we have in hand. So even if we don't draw an additional card. So I think I like Mistcloak Herald here. And then we'll just pass turn. Gigantosaurus! Sure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that seems okay. Bye, Gigantosaurus. We'll go to combat, attack, all-out attack, all 3 dudes. Damage. Opponent's at 3. Of course, we're going to take action, draw a card, Draw another card. Another Curious Obsession. We've got 6 mana, so we can play our Tempest Djinn, hold up Negate. Again, we're lethal in the air. Like, we're not scared of Gigantosaurus. Put a Genie in play! The Genie is in play. It just wasn't the right time. It just wasn't the right time. Like, now is the time where the opponent's looking, like, for that concede button. He's looking for it. He's like, where did they hide it? I know they put it somewhere. There's a concede button around here. He didn't find it, okay? Now, the reason this deck's playing well, guys, is because I put research in before I went and spent this. I knew what deck I wanted. I knew close to what deck I wanted, and tried not to spend any wild cards on cards that weren't in the deck that I wanted to play with. So, again, you getting in? You getting in, opponent? Why wouldn't you get in? Why wouldn't you, opponent? Because you're a madman. That's why. Madman. Titanic growth. Wow. 14-14. It's not lethal. Minus 13. There we go. And we had a bunch of stuff going on, right? It's a good deck. Mono blue, good deck. It's going to be great to play with. I think it's a great starting point for a lot of you people that are wanting to get into Magic. For those of you that have went and spent and are sitting on 120 rare cards, go play whatever deck you want to play. Right, this was a deck that was just full of commons, uncommons, that I thought that would be really, really easy for the beginning of Standard here on Arena, Arena Standard. So again, we do need to win one more. We need to cast 11 more creatures, things like that. So. By the way, you got to say Golgari Raiders as a 2-of in your Elf deck has been performing well. Can't say the same about a certain 2-drop just yet, but all will be revealed in due time. A certain 2-drop, you mean like a 2-drop removal spell that you're not 100% if it's actually good or not? Well, we turn one Mistcloak Herald and then just kind of ride it out, but we do not have card draw. I don't think it's a horrible game plan, though. We'll be able to stop their 3-drop. They're going to get a 1 and a 2 on us if they're a fast deck. Okay, so that's a... Is it Guildgate? So they more than likely have some burn, things like that. Definitely something to be aware of. Yeah, that's a thing. Take your action, opponent. You can't target him. Yeah. I think I'm going to like the Radical Idea card, especially in this arena format, because dude, I can't let you get 2 bodies there. So we did blank his turn 3 play. I expect his next play is trying to kill our Mistcloak Herald for some weird reason. We do need to keep some pressure up, even though we are losing this race. I'm not wanting to bounce this. Would like to be able to spin the Spell Pierce here. defender. As long as you've cast an instant or sorcery, this it can cast as though it didn't have. Okay. That's probably gonna end up badly, but it's okay. Siren Storm Tamer. So what I'm wanting to do here is I want to blink something this turn, but I want to blink with kicker. I want to replace it. So depending on what the opponent plays here, Havoc Devils, Trample, resolves. He did not cast an instant or sorcery. I think that we're going to play with kicker on the Havoc Devils. We draw a Tempest Djinn. That's perfect. Okay. So we can play Tempest Djinn and hold up Negate. So we'll go to combat, all out attacks, end our turn, and then we'll just hold up the Tempest Djinn and negate backup. You made a Niv Mizzet deck? What is this new Pokemon? Hysteria. Deals 5 damage to target creature. I think this is a perfect place to actually fire off Spell Pierce. So, I mean, he does get to attack, though. So, we're going to take the 4. We get rid of the Vishino Pyromancer. Curious Obsession. Now we're talking, ladies and gentlemen. I'm also thinking that I'm liking Nabin here. We'll go to combat. All out attack. And now we're doing some damage. Now we're doing some damage. We would love to draw a card. Oh man, if we only had a wizard. It's just good deck building, boys. It's just good deck building. I can't say that I built this deck. I wish I'd have built the deck, but this is a... I mean, technically I rebuilt it. I took Ken Yukihiro's deck from World Championship and updated it. Got rid of the cards that rotated out and, you know, brought in some other stuff. Oh. Sure. That does not kill us. And it does not turn this on. So we are looking at 7 damage in air. Dazzling Lights. And he gets to surveil. But he also gets to attack for 4. I don't want him to surveil. I'll take the 4 damage, but I don't want him to surveil. No blocks. Another Tempest Djinn. Well, I'm going to go ahead and go to combat. I'm going to swing here, and I'm going to swing here. We will decide to draw our card. We can play Tempest Djinn. We can play Siren Storm Tamer and leave up Wizard's Retort. So he's going to spend 3 mana drawing a card. I'm going to block here. Combat. All out attack. And this game. Definitely think this deck's where you want to be at the beginning of the format here, guys. no joke. Definitely think you want to be playing something along these lines. Now, do remember, arena is going to, the more you win, the more arena is going to just stick you into a group with other people that win. So make sure that, you know, from time to time you remember to lose quite a few games and have your rating drop back down so you can play normal people again. Otherwise you're going to be playing people like J-Dubs, who has 120 you know, rare cards and things like that. But we got some prizes here. We got a card, Haphazard Bombardment. 6 mana enchantment. When Haphazard Bombardment enters the battlefield, you get to choose 4 non-enchantment permanents you don't control and put an aim counter on them. At the beginning of your end step, if 2 or more permanents you don't control have an aim counter on them, destroy one of them at random. So, like, you'll have 4 out there, you'll pass turn at the beginning of your end step, one of them will randomly go away. In paper, you would just roll a die to see which one. And then we got a pack. Let's go open this pack, right? Bam! 1,000-Year Storm. That'll be a fun card to play around with, right? We got Street Riot, which is it's a card. I don't think it's that great, but as long as it's your turn, creatures you control get +1/+0 and have trample. Okay. Direct Current, another one of those jumpstart cards. I think jumpstart cards are going to be absolutely terrific. The Piston Cyclops, we just seen our opponent use that. Worked not so well for him. So, I mean, again, you're going to want to have your deck building be able to support cards like this and things like that. But all in all, that's pretty good. Back over here. All right, so we win 5 more games. We get another pack. We play 6 more creatures. We can go buy another pack with gold. All right, so another thing that I do want to point out to you guys, for those of you still listening in for, you know, tips and tricks and things like that. So winning packs, and you're going to be able to continue winning packs. Winning packs is always going to give you the most up-to-date set. So you're always going to pull Guilds of Ravnica cards while you're playing and winning. So I highly recommend that when you're using your gold to buy packs, and you don't have to use gold to buy packs, but when you're using your gold to buy packs, I do not recommend buying the most recent packs, unless that's just what you need cards out of. I highly recommend going back and buying some of the older sets, because you're going to win Guilds of Ravnica packs, okay? So you're going to want some of those, but I don't think that you're going to want to spend your gold on those. You're going to want to get some of the older collections. So, yeah. You was diamond before the reset? Yeah, so was I, and then I quit playing Arena. Or no, I was just gold or something like that, because I kept like losing to go back down. But that's kind of one of the things about Arena. As soon as you get to Diamond, the only thing you're going to play against is other Diamond players. And as far as the old chess rules go, you know, when we were on the chess team in school and stuff, they always told us, you know, if you play worse players, it's going to make you worse. If you play better players, it's going to make you better. So with that aspect in mind, you know, if you're Diamond and you're playing against other Diamond players, then that's going to be great, okay? You're going to get, you know, the best gameplay that you can possibly get. You know your opponents are not going to be slackers. They're going to have the best cards out there. You're going to be playing the best games versus the best games. But it's absolutely going to take away from the fact that sometimes we just want to crush noobs, right? Like, sometimes you just want to crush noobs. And, you're not going to be able to do that in this game. This game absolutely fights against crushing noobs, right? We all start as noobs. Everyone's a noob at some point. You know, there's going to be a lot of new people coming into MTG Arena right now, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But those people are going to play against, you know, average decks, you know, the starter decks and things like that, until they get a little bit farther along, and then they're going to get, you know, more... would I do a draft tonight or not? I don't have the gems or the funds to be able to just do a draft right now. All right. I am not one of those big Gwent players that just moved over to Arena or something like that. So that's not something that I just have the means to be able to go do. Rush. I'm sorry, buddy. I can't just I can't just go dump a bunch of money into Arena. that I just don't have yet. I know that you're probably willing to give the money to be able to do a draft, but again, I wouldn't actually have access to that money until much later. So I'm gonna say I can't, man. There's not many ways that we could make that work. All right. I've got a family to worry about. I've got bills to pay, and first of the month will be here very, very soon. So, yeah. You just finished loading the new MTG Arena software. B Drake will be a noob you can crush. Well, I can't wait for them to put the friends list and things like that on here. We should be having that at some point. There's the play all modes. I don't know what it is. Draft, welcome weekend singleton, and sealed. But if we change it, it becomes sealed, competitive draft, and welcome weekend singleton. Play all mode, advanced play modes off, advanced play modes on. So basically, it adds draft for advanced play modes, right? He was about to say how much, right? Like, I mean, you have the Cash App. You could technically send me the money that I would actually have available immediately, but I mean, I would play it. I'll draft if you want to pay for it. If you want to send it to me via the Cash App, you can. I'll draft. I can do that. So we actually do have a way around it. So see how much the sealed event is. Okay, so if you want to go to sealed events are 2,000 gems. As far as 2,000 gems go, you would go to purchase gems, and cost you about 15 bucks to do a sealed event. So you'd want to get a $9.99 and a $4.99. So yeah, it'd be about 15 bucks there. Their rush. Like if you want to do it and you want to pay for it, I'll play it. Like it'd be me playing to gain some cards. So I will need to refill the old coffee cup. You know what we need to do right now, though? We need to finish our playing for free. We need to win or cast 6 creature spells. Doesn't matter if we win or not. We need to cast 6 creature spells. So we're going to go back to the ladder. And I'm going to change my deck. I just want something with a ton of creatures in it. I want to say the mono green deck's got a lot of creatures, so I'm going to play the just stock mono green build and hope that we can play 6 creatures in a game. Not necessarily worried about winning, but you're about to win with this Is It deck. Awesome. Awesome. I'm feeling really good about the Wizards deck. I think the Wizards deck was the mono blue Wizards, mono blue Merfolk, whatever you want to call it. I think that deck's exactly where I wanted to be at the beginning of Standard. A lot of people like the mono red and things like that, but I think this is where I want to be. So, all right, we got some forest. Can we play some creatures? We can play a creature. Oh my god, this card's so horrible. Why is this in the deck? All right, I'm gonna keep this. We can get 1 creature down. Play our forest and go. Noah. Our Greenwood Sentinel. Does our opponent know a guy? Nobody. No offense. Oh man. That wasn't even, I don't even know why I'm laughing. That wasn't even funny. Alright, it was pretty funny. Does he know a guy? No, but he no offense. Maybe that's what it means. No offense. No offense. No offense, man. No offense. I'm just gonna crush you with this deck. All attacks. Basically, I'm just saving my Titanic Growths and things like that for you know, combat tricks, stuff like that, to be able to win something here. We do end up with something like prodigious growth on something, which is just ridiculous, then we're going to be alright. Well, he's going to block. Okay, that's our turn. So, I mean, we're just using our 2/2. This is not what we wanted to do. We wanted to play 6 creature spells. So far, I've played 1 creature spell. So that's not terrific. Oh, look. Another spell. You do it again? Do you block again? He does block again. Okay. Okay, opponent. Well, we're going to keep using our combat tricks for kill spells. Getting in there with that little 2/2. This little dude's awesome. We are 1 land away from just this 2/2 becoming... Oh, he finally got his. Come on, land off the top. We want it. We want it bad. Elvish Rejuvenator. So he is not going to be holding up his... This gives trample too. There it is. I picked this deck because I wanted to... I just wanted to play creatures. Our 9/9 Trample Vigilant 2/2. Just lay down and die, opponent. Jeez. The nerve of our opponent, right? The nerve. Come on, land off the top. Land off the top would be so good. I mean, when you're this good at Magic, ladies and gentlemen, like, you're not going to need tutorials like I've provided for you guys tonight. When you're just this good at Magic, right, you're not going to need to worry about anything else. Sometimes you're just going to get everything you need right off the top. Our opponent is furious right now. You know what's funny about your 10/10? It can only block 1 dude. Welcome to Magic the Gathering, ladies and gentlemen. That's how it works. Now leave him alive so we can cast stuff. Right. I said I wanted to play all of these decks a little bit, so let's jump into the white deck real quick. Let's see if we can cast these last couple creatures that we need to cast. Trash talk through the little emoji things. Nice, nice, yes, right. You lost to this deck playing Boros aggro earlier. You felt ashamed. Ouch, ouch. You lost to the white one or to the black one, or to the green one we were just playing. All right, so we've got target blocked creature gets okay. Good, okay. Cast this spell only if a creature is attacking you. Create. These are all horrible cards. These are all just really bad Magic cards. It's like they built these decks with like the worst Magic cards you could possibly get a hold of. Tactical advantage, right? So we've got a Dimir deck going on here. He might be able to stop this, but we're casting creature spells. And that's what matters, ladies and gentlemen. We are casting creature spells. We're trying to get that quest done. Nothing else matters. Like, we could scoop after we played like 5 creatures. Hey, that's another creature spell. And that one's got lifelink. And we can hold up our tactical advantage. It didn't give me the option after I, oh wow, Stitcher Supplier. He milled land, Dream Eater. So this person has a deck that he has either spent some money on or something of that nature. Like, we know that he wants his Stitcher Supplier to die, but I also want him to mill a couple more lands off the top of his deck. So he got rid of Sinister Sabotage. He got rid of Overgrown Tomb. Oh wow! I mean, he's no, he's not even close to the Sultai deck I want to be. My Sultai Muldrotha deck's not running Stitcher Supplier, Dream Eater. I'm not running any of that. Thief of Insanity maybe, but I don't exactly think so. So we have this instant speed. Oh, that's why. It has to be blocked or blocking. Okay. That's why it wouldn't allow me to. Whatever. You open a couple of Guild Gates and a Golgari Shockland in your 3-packs. Awesome. I will go ahead and say it again. For those of you that are just tuning in, you're wanting to know how do you get your free packs. The current free pack code that is available is Play Ravnica, capital P and a capital R for Ravnica, no spaces. So just put that in your redeem code on MTG Arena, and you will get your 3 free packs of Guilds of Ravnica. I mean, this person has put some money into having a pretty decent deck. I mean, the Harpooner here is pretty decent. I didn't really even have to do that. Harpooner is good. And he would be able to fight our Sarah Angel. If we would have played the Angel, he would have 100% been able to fight it. So, that's the thing. I'm going to go no attacks here. I assume that he's got some type of trick. I'm going to say no blocks. We'll take our damage. Take Vigilant. That's not bad. Well, I know I want to play this card because it's a creature and I need to cast as many creature spells as possible. So I'm going to go to combat. We'll all attack here. Put him at 4, so now this is lethal. This is sorcery speed. Our opponent has been so stuck on mana. It's bad. It's bad. It Feels so bad. Well, to be fair, if you bought gems in the last time you you have managed to build what would be maybe a top deck, but you did put quite a bit into gems. So there are a lot of people that do. What? So he's going to block our 4/4 because he gained control of target creature with power 2 or less for 4 mana. Is this a good spell? Yeah, I mean, maybe. Sorcerer Speed, return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. It's probably a good spell. It's a one-shot Liliana, which isn't horrible. We'll go ahead and go to combat. All-out attack. Now, he has to block the 4/4. Like, so this gets through. So now we've got our Pegasus Courser and our Sarah Angel. Good to see us being able to beat these decks that have spent quite a bit of money. So, did I see the Singleton Welcome Weekend event? Says it's free. It is free. 100%. It is free. So we're almost past beginner. We need to start losing, guys. We need to lose some games so that we get to keep playing against beginners. Because that's what's going to happen, right? All right. So we get a card. Valda, Keeper of the Flame. Sweet. And then we get some more gold. Again, this gold can be used to buy packs. You can use this to enter events. The Welcome Singleton, if you do build a Singleton event or a Singleton deck, you can win some cards here. You get to keep playing until you reach 2 losses. So, you know, that's pretty cool. It is free to play. So if you guys want to, you know, play around with Singleton decks and things like that, you can. You're basically just going to be throwing one of everything you have in a particular, you know, color combination. You're just going to throw all of that into one and then just try to run that through some stuff. So, I mean, if you guys want me to go ahead and build that and we'll play, you know, a Singleton format, then we can. Maybe we can do like a red-blue Singleton or something. I have 2 mythic rare cards. I know at some point I'm going to want 2 Moldrathas. I know at some point I'm going to want Niv Mizzet. So I'm okay with spending the mythic rares on either of those 2. So if we do go Singleton, I would like to go Singleton in those colors maybe. So maybe a red-blue Singleton deck would be a lot of fun, considering one of the decks we've chosen to spin wild cards on is a blue deck. So we would have some pretty decent blue spells, things like that. We can throw our Curious Obsessions and things like that in there, so we might have a pretty decent little Singleton red-blue deck. So if you guys want to try that out, we can do that. You guys interested? Archaeomancer. Yes, I was going to say, did Archaeomancer get reprinted? And I had to finish reading what you said there, Madness. Yeah, Archaeomancer would have been absolutely great. Like being able to return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand's pretty good. So you're actually going to get going, getting tired. So I'll see you guys Sunday. About the Jun Pirates on Reddit. Jun Pirates seems pretty good. It's a shame we cannot give coins to mates yet. Right? Like, I don't think you're ever going to be able to do that. I don't think they want this to be like that. So, like, I know a lot of friends and friends of the community and stuff would love to be able to, like, just say, hey, look, here's some like, go play this for us, go do this for us, and stuff like that. Then, you know, that would be awesome. So so how much do you need to send for the draft? 15, and we'll play the draft there, Rush. If you want to buy the draft, we will play the draft. I'm going to need to go, like, take 5 and refill the coffee cup. So if you guys want to do draft, we can do that. Like I'm okay with like stopping the stream where we're at right now, and then coming back up with a draft. How does one get the free packs? All right. I'm glad you asked, because I definitely want to show that one more time here. You go type in this redeem code, right? It's Play Ravnica, capital P, capital R, no spaces. Play Ravnica is your free 3 packs promo code. I found it on Reddit. I think there's some other streamers out there that might have access to it. Again, you can use these codes once per account. So if you have an account, your significant other has an account, you will both be able to use this. You will not be able to use it more than one time. So, okay, Barry. Like, geez, guys, you guys are phenomenal. Like, I can't deny that you guys are awesome. I thank you very much. I appreciate it. We'll have some fun with this. So give me 15 minutes. We'll be back at it's about to be 11 o'clock. I'll be back at 11:15 with fresh coffee, a fresh thumbnail, and a fresh name out there. So if you guys want to check out drafting, we're going to go do some arena drafts. So I hope you liked our first walkthrough of, getting started here on arena. I hope you guys can, take that sifter and pull something that's good out of this. Just accept the love. Stop being awkward. It's awkward. I am not used to people just handing me money. I probably should get used to it, but I hope you guys have really taken something out of my first time through arena here. I went ahead and we done this on our other account. This is my SideboardMTG account. This is the channels account. So I did everything on my personal account. I learned some tricks and some things like that. And then from there, I wanted to show as much as I could to you guys here. So I'm going to take this down because I'm pretty sure I've got to add credit card information. It may still be on from the last time I played this. Alright, so yeah, they keep everything. They keep everything. There we go. Authorization area not authorized for your payment. Please verify your payment information and try later. Alright, so I'm going to take this down. I'll get this up. We'll get my payment information verified, and then I'll buy the 1600 gems and the 750, and then we'll play some draft. That's gonna be fun, right? Drafting the new set. It's gonna be my first draft of the new set as well, so I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So, all right, I'm gonna take a quick 15-minute break. We're gonna change the thumbnail. We're gonna do some other things, and then we'll be right back. Thanks for watching. I had a lot of fun. I hope you had some fun, and I hope you learned a little something. I'm Eric from SideboardMTG, and we'll see you soon.